couple of things about this being independent, and you mentioned that you can work as hard as you want to, and that there's a correlation with how much effort you make and how much money you make. You know, a lot of times people don't want to put the effort in because they're so programmed to be hourly paid. And the idea that when you want to make a lot of money, you got to put time in, and that kind of scares them. How did you get over that?
Basically, again, it all boils down to I determine what I want to make per month, and in order to do that, I know I have to put forth the effort to work so many hours to do so many shows a month.
So your company basically has like a formula where, generally speaking, when you give X amount of presentations, you're going to make X amount of money. Now, you know, I've seen those kind of formulas before, and I've worked those kind of formulas before, and it's called the law of large numbers, I believe is what it's called, and it actually works. But yet, each time I would hire a lot of African Americans, they see that it's real work, and that you have to be disciplined, you got to learn the product, and you got to give your presentations with enthusiasm where you have a strong command of the presentation, and you can make that kind of money. But I think it boils down to is a lot of times people don't have that kind of faith in themselves. Is that accurate?
I think a lot of people have, sometimes they don't have any faith even when they're working, you know, for hourly wage or salary. And just this world that we live in, I don't think a lot of people have determination anymore. And I can't speak for those people because I have determination. Again, I set forth what I want to make. You know, I have a budget, and I look at my schedule and say, okay, I need to make X amount of dollars each month if I want to go to Florida, if I need to pay for my car, the house, whatever. And I have that determination each month. Because if I don't, I'm not going to make any money. Now, with a hourly job or a salary job, yes, you can go out to that place and work, or you might be able to just sit on your butt all day. You're still going to get paid. Now, when it comes to home-based businesses, you can sit on your butt all day and not do anything, but you are not going to get paid for it. That's where the word commissions comes in. So if you like to get paid, you got to put forth the effort. If you want to go on those trips to Florida, you have to put forth the effort and do it right and earn your money the way you want to earn it.
Now, you just said a curse word there, commission. That scares living daylights out of a lot of people because people always tell you about commission. Yeah, you got a chance to make a lot of money, but you also have a chance not to make any money. So therefore, that's why we tend to shy away from that commission. But yet the richest people in America are commissioned.
Yes, sir. That's true. That is true. When you have a business that you call your own, a lot of times that's where the commission comes in. And a lot of people just don't understand with commissions, you have to work that much harder. But to me, when you earn those commissions and you get that raise or you earn that money and you hit that goal that you wanted to hit, it's so much more rewarding in that sense than maybe working at a fast food restaurant and only getting a certain amount of money per day, per week.
Now, this is about the 19th time you've mentioned goals. Did you do this on your own, or is this something that your parents instilled in you?
I guess it would basically be both. My mother, she raised me right. She, you know, told me all about adulthood, becoming an adult. I can't talk today. Becoming an adult, and being financially stable. My mother never struggled as a single mom. At least I never noticed that she struggled. I think she did very well in raising me and, you know, providing for me and her as well. But, you know, I learned everything from my mom. My dad passed away when I was young, but my mom did teach me right about setting forth goals and saving, being financially stable, budgeting, that whole 9 yards. I did learn that from my mom. A little bit from school too, but I think it all starts in the home first. Your parents have to teach you right if you want to succeed in life.
Okay, now you mentioned your mom and what all she taught you. Was she also an outdoorsman?
No, not even close.
So how did? Okay, I mean, seriously, I mean, because I've seen pictures of you holding shotguns, dressed in the hunter's attire, and I read some things about you And I take that all that stuff is real.
Very real. I actually learned that if you go back in my history, I'm from what a lot of people call the mean streets of Gary, Indiana. Oh my goodness. I am from Gary, and Gary is that close to Chicago. So we're very cityfied in Gary. So you tell someone in Gary about shotguns and outdoors, they're probably going to think, ooh, who are you going to shoot tonight? Oh, well, hey, no one. Fishing, you might have some in Gary who do fish. But when it comes to hunting and that sort of thing, no, not too much. You fast forward to my life today, I am fishing and hunting. But I did learn that from my husband while we were dating. He's a big outdoorsman and kind of showed.
What is the biggest animal you've killed?
White-tailed deer.
And when you shot, I mean, how did that experience? How did you, when you did that, you know, what did that do for you or to you or whatever?
Once you shoot, kill an animal, you must remember, you know, we all have a creator. God created us as human beings. He also created the wildlife, plants, everything this earth contains. So yes, you know, a lot of people think, oh, well, you probably don't feel sad. You know, you shoot a deer, you probably just jump up in joy and don't feel sad about killing an animal. That's not true. I still feel sad because yes, I am taking a life, but I am also providing for my family. And if you think about it, you know, a lot of people don't understand. I'm doing that myself. How is that really any different? Yes, you can go to the grocery store and pick up that package of a T-bone steak, but I'm doing that myself. I do, you know, feel sad once I take that animal's life, but in the end, I realize I'm providing for me and my family. So it's just kind of a great, I guess, rejoice that I can do that on my own, and I know where my food is coming from.
No, I mean, I didn't say that to make you feel guilty or anything. And yes, you could. A few years back, you could go buy deer chops. The guy got busted, but that's another story. Now, you know, when you go duck hunting, what kind of do you use a Uzi or what do you use? I mean, because right now you always see on TV the gun enthusiasts always talk about how they're going to use these assault rifles for hunting. What kind of assault rifle do you have?
I don't use an assault rifle because I'm not assaulting anyone. That's the thing with the media. They love to turn and twist things. Anything that you use can really be an assault weapon. I mean, technically you can say a knife is an assault knife, but that's media for you. When I hunt, I do use shotgun for bird hunting. And then for deer hunting, I also use a bow and arrow, archery equipment, and I use a muzzle loader.
All right, now with the bows and arrows, how did you perfect that to the point to where you can kill things? I mean, I never shot a bow and arrow. I made some as a kid, and the arrow would go from here to the wall. But these, I take it, are very serious, and you can. I mean, how did you master that?
Well, you can't really say I've mastered anything because there have been times where I've missed. I actually used a bow and arrow. Was that last year? Yes, last year I went to Kansas on a turkey hunt, and I missed a turkey. Was it the year before that? I shot at a turkey twice. Shot once, hit him in the butt, and then the second time it went over his head. So I can't say I necessarily mastered it yet. Still working on that. With a bow and arrow, it is a lot harder. There's a lot more focus when it comes to archery. But I've missed things with guns too. So it just takes practice. That's with anything. Practice makes perfect.
Now, I understand that you're in a hurry to get back home because you got something really brewing on the stove, something that just makes my mouth just water. Goose stew.
Goose stew.
How did you become introduced to that?
Again, it goes back to my husband. He knows a lot of these recipes and introduced me to it. But with the wonderful World Wide Web, you can pretty much find anything, any kind of recipe that you want. So you just go to Google, and if you happen to shoot a goose or a duck or a deer, or turkey, rabbit, whatever, type that in. You're bound to find a recipe on there somewhere.